have agreed to a one-year deal with Andy Dalton after he was released from the Bengals. It gives the Cowboys a legitimate backup quarterback, but also left some scratching their heads since Dak is still only franchise tag. So, Skip, your opinion. What's the biggest reason Jerry Jones signed Andy Dalton?
Jerry Jones just said checkmate to Dak and his agent. Jerry Jones just said touche. Leverage is now mine. I'm now winning this negotiation because for all those months that this deal should have gotten done, Dak and his new agent knew they had Jerry over the proverbial barrel. It's the Cooper Rush barrel. Cooper Rush had thrown 3 passes in real games and completed 1 for 4 yards. And they knew that they could push Jerry up against the wall, back into the corner, and say, hey, we dare you, play Cooper Rush in the games that count if we decide to hold out because you won't give us what we're asking for. Shannon Sharpe, I've told you from the start, my sources say they're asking for outrageous, out-of-bounds money that even Dak, as much as I believe in Dak Prescott, will not be able to live up to. The kind of money that will wreck the Cowboys' salary cap for the next 5 years if Dak can't live up to being beyond Patrick Mahomes, and even I don't think he can do that. So what did Jerry do? He pulled off a shocking steal of a deal. He went and got the quarterback that everybody thought was ticketed for Belichick in New England, that by today I thought we'd be talking about, and this is what you predicted last week. Oh, Belichick, the genius. He waited him out in Cincinnati. He didn't have to trade squat. He didn't even have to give up a 7th-round pick for Andy Dalton. He waited until they had to cut him. And then they got Andy Dalton on the cheap. No, wait a second. Not like Jerry did. Jerry signed Andy Dalton, a 3-time Pro Bowler who took his Cincinnati teams to playoffs 4 times. He signed him to a $3 million base that with incentives maxed out will get only to $7 million. All of a sudden, you've got a guy homegrown in the state of Texas who went to TCU, which is just a few miles away from Jerry World in Fort Worth, who now lives in Dallas. Great guy. You got the best backup quarterback in the NFL, number one. You got the best backup Dallas has had since Danny White backed up Roger Staubach, number 2. But most important, you've got all-time leverage because you now have a proven starter as viable replacement for Dak Prescott if, in fact, he holds out all the way through camp and into the regular season, which I believe is a now distinct possibility. Shannon, I've told you, this thing has gone completely south to the point I believe that Dak and his new agent have alienated Jerry Jones, and that is hard to do. It takes a long time. Jerry's MO is to overpay players he treats like sons. I agree with your premise, Shannon, that Dak has always kept that Heisman pose arm's length from Jerry. And it works in the locker room because players look up to Dak like, you're not Jerry's guy, right? You're not his son. You're your own man, okay? It worked that way. But it's not working now because I've told you from the start, the way to play Jerry and to get your money is to just cozy up to him. Give him a call. Say, Jerry, I love you, man. Let's get this thing done. That's how Zeke got his deal done just ahead of the start of the regular season when he came back from Cabo. That's the way all the deals get done. That's the way Jerry has overpaid star after star after star. There are about 5 of them on the Cowboys right now who all got overpaid because they played nice with Jerry Jones. Dak is not playing nice. Dak is already holding out from virtual workouts. Dak is going to hold out from whatever OTAs in camp there will be. Jerry is clearly not happy. And if you push him too far and he gets sick and tired enough, he might just rescind that franchise tag before you have to sign it on July 15th. It's possible he would just say, okay, heck with you. We'll go forward with Andy Dalton. Andy is only 32 years of age, and look at these records in his first 5 years, Shannon. 9-7. He's in Cincinnati, 9-7, 10-6, 11-5, 10-5, 10-3. That'll work. Could he win 10 games with this year's cap? You better believe he could. Do I like Andy Dalton more than I do not? I just love the fact that Jerry went kaboom and went and got him, because now maybe it will break the ice. Now maybe it will light a fire under Dak and his new agent, and they will compromise just a little bit out of fear of they might be out on the street if they don't. So way to go, Jerry. You've won the offseason. I love you, man.
Yeah, that's all you wanted the offseason. Good thing they don't pass out Lombardis for winning the offseason. I believe it's twofold. We talked about this earlier, Skip. I do believe it gives them a quality backup, something they have not had under Dak tenure except that first year. He took over for injured Tony Romo. Tony Romo got hurt. They had a nice quality backup if something were to happen to Dak. Well, since Tony Romo has retired and gone to the booth, they have not. Maybe Kittner was there 1 year, Skip. Maybe Kittner was there 1 year. Memory serves me correct. But here's the thing, Skip. Jerry Jones stars. The difference between this star and the other stars, Michael Irvin, Dez Bryant, and Zeke Elliott, what do they all have in common, Skip? They all at some point in time needed Jerry Jones. Truth be told, let's go ahead and put it out there, Skip Bayless. All of them at one point in time needed Jerry Jones. Dak Prescott says, I have not needed Jerry Jones. I've kept myself on the straight and narrow. Now, as a quarterback, as I said, I can't remember. Now, I've been around the NFL since 1990, followed it a long time, covered it the last 15, 20 years. Skip, I cannot remember the time a quarterback as accomplished as Dak, with no injury history, no off-field check mark flags, 26, 27 years of age, have to threaten to hold out to get his money? Now, Skip Bayless always tells you, it's not about what you've done, it's about what you can do. Skip, Jerry, Stephen Jones have said, we believe Dak Prescott is a franchise quarterback and can win multiple Super Bowls. How much is multiple Super Bowls worth? That's the question, Skip. If you believe he can, $40 million is a drop in the bucket. Name the team. There's only a handful of teams. Probably not the Bengals. They ain't going to pay no amount of money if you tell them they can win the Super Bowl. But most owners, if you say, you know what, you're going to have to pay your quarterback next year $30 million, there's a greater chance that you'll win the Super Bowl than not. Would they do it? The majority of them would. So that's what's at stake for the Cowboys. Look, Skip, I love Andy Dalton as a backup, but I don't think Andy Dalton is better than Dak Prescott. And again, Skip, it's the position that he plays. It's not whether you're good. You don't have to be good. You have to play the right position. You need to be free. Dak was free. Skip, you don't even get to this situation. I'm shocked. I'm beyond shocked that they let it get to this situation. And you know what the franchise tag creates. It creates bad blood. It creates dissension. And Jerry and Steven have allowed this to happen. Now they want Dak to cave for a situation they created. Dak said, nah, I'm good. Do what you got to do. But I ain't going nowhere. I ain't signing nothing.
I got a question for you. What if Dak and his new agent are asking for beyond Patrick Mahomes' money, $40-odd million a year? Would you pay him that right now?
Skip, we don't know. You keep saying hypothetical. We don't know what my homeboy is asking for. All I need to, Skip, this is what I will say. Tell me how much of how much of his money is fully guaranteed. Because I believe there are a few sticking points. Maybe the tenure. Jerry wants 6 years. Dak wants somewhere between 4 and 5. But ultimately, Dak said, y'all gonna give me $80, $90, $100 million fully guaranteed? I'll sign a 6-year deal. But I'm not signing a 6-year deal when you're talking about giving me Jared Goff $50 million. That's not going to happen.
Shannon, we're talking about all of it guaranteed. That's what Dak is asking for, $150 million guaranteed dollars. That's what we're talking about here. And again, I love Dak more than most people do. Most people don't like him. A lot of Cowboy fans don't love him. And yet, I don't love him so much that I say, yeah, wreck that salary cap for the next 5 years. Go ahead, give him ridiculous money. No, don't. That's why $3 million for Andy Dalton could save you $30 or $40 million on Dak and his demand right now.
Well, they didn't have a problem paying Tony Romo, making him the highest paid, and they didn't worry about wrecking the cap. Now, all of a sudden, Jerry Jones is concerned about the cap. And like you said, Jerry Jones knows how to manipulate, how to massage the cap. So manipulate, massage the cap, and give Dak his money. We want $35 million. We want $80 million.